The wine glass stopped halfway to my lips when she stood. My daughter-in-law didn't clear her throat. Didn't hesitate. She smiled like someone who had rehearsed this moment in the mirror. "I just want to say something," she announced. Forks paused. Conversations died mid-sentence. Christmas lights hummed softly, oblivious. She lifted her phone. "I control this family now," she said. "All the cards are shut off." For a second, the room didn't breathe. Then it erupted. Applause. Laughter. Someone whistled. I watched my son. He wasn't clapping. He was staring at her with the confused pride of a man who thought he'd won something. Without reading the fine print, I set my glass down carefully. My hands didn't shake. Inside, something ancient stirred, but I kept it leashed. She turned toward me last. "Always save the old man for the end. Merry Christmas," she added sweetly. I figured it was time everyone understood how things work now. Her eyes challenged me. I smiled. Not wide. Not angry. Just enough. I looked at my son and said calmly, "You really don't know, do you?" The color drained from his face. "What?" she snapped. "No what?" I didn't answer. Not yet. Betrayal rarely arrives dressed as betrayal. Sometimes it wears confidence. Sometimes applause. She hadn't always been like this. Or maybe she had, I'd just been useful then. She entered the family with warmth, questions, gratitude. She listened when I spoke. Watched how decisions were made. Who signed what? Who trusted whom? I noticed. People mistake silence for blindness. They forget silence is where observation lives. After the marriage, small things changed. Access requested. Suggestions framed as help. My son repeating her opinions as if they were his own. I didn't object. Objection teaches people where the lines are. Instead, I let her believe she was moving unseen. Christmas was her stage. She'd chosen it carefully. Family gathered. Witnesses present. Public dominance established. Classic. What she didn't understand was timing. Control announced as control already decaying. I looked around the table. Faces awkward now. Applause dying slowly, replaced by uncertainty. People checking phones that suddenly didn't work. She mistook discomfort for victory. I studied my son's hands. The way they curled slightly. Like he was bracing for impact he didn't yet understand. He'd signed papers she gave him months ago. Just updates, she'd said. Streamlining. He hadn't read them. I had. Not because I suspected her. Because I always read. I'd already seen the cracks forming beneath her certainty. Already made calls. Already adjusted pieces she never knew existed. This dinner wasn't her triumph. It was her reveal. And reveals are dangerous things. She leaned forward, irritation sharpening her voice. "Why are you smiling?" I met her eyes. Because I knew something she didn't. And soon. Everyone would. I didn't speak. Not yet. She thought silence meant shock. She thought it meant fear. It didn't. It meant preparation. I sipped my wine slowly, letting the pause stretch. Let her anger, the room's murmurs, the sudden hesitation in my son's voice, sink in. Every second she assumed she was untouchable, every second I catalogued. After dinner, she retreated to the living room, phone in hand, checking balances. Smiling like she'd already won. I stayed behind in the kitchen. Quiet. Observing. Calculating. The emails arrived first. Bank statements. Alerts. Transfers. She'd made in the last month. Patterns. Hidden approvals. Access she'd assumed no one noticed. I printed each one. Chronologically. Highlighted. Each line, each transaction. A subtle stroke of control she thought she'd wielded without consequence. Then the calls. Conversations she hadn't deleted. Recorded by colleagues who didn't know what they had. Conversations about power, access, manipulation. Names. Dates. Times. Proof that her audacity wasn't impulsive, it was strategy. I didn't call anyone yet. No confrontation. Not until the stage was set perfectly. She wandered back into the kitchen to check on everyone. Her confidence still radiated. She didn't know I was watching the way she handled herself. The way she projected dominance to mask insecurity. She placed a hand on my son's shoulder, whispering instructions about accounts and future transfers. He nodded, blindly proud. I took a slow step forward. My shadow fell across the room, unnoticed. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't slam papers. I didn't even breathe differently. I waited. Timing. Precision. Patience. Every move she'd made, every assumption she'd held about me, every claim of control, was about to be inverted. The envelope went onto the counter next to her. She glanced at it. Curiosity, a flicker of unease. I waited. She lifted it. Shook it gently. A name written across it. Accounts. Documents. Proof she had no power here. Except what I allowed her to believe she had. I cleared my throat. Looks like you're not the only one who reads details, I said softly. Her hand froze. The words didn't land immediately. Her smile faltered. The room, once filled with applause and approval, held its breath. She turned to my son. His face mirrored hers. Panic. Confusion. The realization that he'd been playing a part in someone else's plan. Wait, what? She whispered. I smiled. Calm. Cold. Calculated. Yes, I said. You really don't know, do you? Her eyes widened. Heart racing. And then, slowly, the room began to see the truth. She tried to speak first. I don't understand. I raised a hand. Stopped her. Exactly, I said. You never did. The envelope sat between us. Not threatening. Not dramatic. Just truth in black and white. She leaned closer, trembling. These can't be real. I nodded. They are. Every transaction. Every call. Every assumption you made about control, it's all here. Her voice cracked. But I handled everything. I controlled. You controlled your part, I interrupted. Not the system. Not the rules. Not the consequences. My son's face was pale. He hadn't read the documents. He hadn't realized until now that his trust had been misplaced. You thought you were powerful, I said, slowly. You thought you could dominate with applause and fear. But power isn't given, it's measured. And yours? Minimal. Temporary. She stepped back, panic rising. Trying to grasp for explanations. For loopholes, for a lifeline. I continued calmly. All the accounts. All the access. I let you believe it was yours. I let you think the family bowed to your strategy. And you? You fell for it. Her hands shook. She whispered, You knew all along. I did, I said. Every step. Every plan. Every attempt to impress or intimidate me, you underestimated me. You underestimated us. She sank into a chair, eyes wide, hands gripping the table. The applause and approval she had commanded earlier were gone. Replaced with silence. Shock. Fear. Now you see, I said softly, control is not declared. It's earned. And I never gave it to you. Tears streaked her face. The mask of confidence shattered. The room was quiet, everyone watching. Witnessing the moment she realized she was exposed. My son finally spoke. Mom? I didn't. You didn't what? I asked. You didn't read? You didn't question? That's the point. I picked up the envelope. Placed it in my coat pocket. Not to hide it. To demonstrate restraint. To show that truth doesn't need theatrics, it needs patience. I stepped toward the door. She looked up. Desperation in her eyes. Please. I can fix this. No, I said. Some things aren't fixed. Some lessons aren't repeated. I opened the door, walked out slowly. The winter air hit my face. Crisp. Cold. Perfect. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Because the lesson had been delivered. The truth exposed. The pretender defeated, not by anger, not by confrontation, but by quiet observation and calculated timing. The family remained. Silenced. Awed. The room still heavy with revelation. Some people think control is loud. They're wrong. Control is knowing when to act. When to wait. And when to walk away, leaving everything shattered behind. I walked into the night. And for the first time in years, I felt entirely free.